Hello and welcome to Modern Toy for Reviews. Today I'm going to be starting a 4-part review for the Mcfarlane DC Multiverse Last Night on Earth Bane Build-A-Figure wave. Like I said, this will be split into 4 separate parts over the course of a couple weeks, so please make sure to check back each week for the next figure. If you've managed to grab this wave before it sells out, let me know in the comments below what you think about it, or if you're still on the hunt for it. But let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so we're going to take a look at Scarecrow and the Bane Build-A-Figure. Let's start with Scarecrow. You've got this big plastic red dome around the head sculpt. It's all translucent, so you can kind of see in there with the screaming expression. Nope, he's falling off the stand. Let me just go ahead and get that out of the way. And there we go. Alright, you've got the noose, which looks like really nice, well sculpted rope. You've got the tube coming off the back, which you have to assume is a filter. And then you've got the textures throughout the jacket with all the tears and the stitching. And then you've got his rib cage and his intestines and his innards, and then his tailbone. And then with the hands, there you've got these long mechanical fingers, which are really cool. Not a lot of paint apps to them, but you've got the injectors on the fingers. And then you've got the robotics going through his forearms. And then they did a great job with all the tattering on the jacket at the bottom and on the sleeves, even with the pieces that are just kind of coming out from under the jacket. So overall, I think they did a great job with Scarecrow. Let's take a look at this big gray guy. So we've got the head sculpt, which is really cool. We've got the kind of dark red eyes. You've got this big white bat, which I thought was really cool that Scott Snyder and Capullo did for Bane's mask. You got some great stitching up there in the mold for his mask. And then you've got the skin, which is really cool texture-wise, but it's gray for some reason, and it wasn't like that in the books. In the books, he's very pale, but he's not a zombie, he's not gray, so I don't get it. They could have at least even added some green for the veins. The shirt, though, really well done. The sculpt almost looks like it's fabric. Got some tears in it. You've got the belt, which not a lot of paint, but it has a lot of detail in the sculpt with the buckles. And then you've got the venom injector on his wrist with that bright green on it. You've got some metal plates on the back of his hands for armor, and also on his knuckles. And then you've got the fingers and all clenched up there and really well done. And then coming down to the pants, all sorts of different textures with the seams and with the pockets. You've got the metal armor plates on the one boot and then on the knee. You've got the boots, which have some really cool textures. And then you've got the back of the belt there. And you've got a little hole, and that's where Scarecrow actually plugs in so he can sit on his back. Alright, time for some articulation. So Scarecrow's head can tilt pretty far, both left and right. Got decent amount up, no down though. It's kind of blocked by the noose. Arms do go pretty far up, a little over 90. They do twist all the way forward and back. Like so. And then you do have a single jointed elbow, which also has a little bit of twist to it, but nothing crazy. Fingers, they are on 2 separate hinges, 2 per hinge, so you can kind of get them in different positions from each other. Get a little bit of a creepier look with his hands. He doesn't have any sort of articulation in the ab crunch area, but he does have this little piece that pops out so he can plug into the back of Bane. So overall, not bad. Kind of what you expect from half a body. As far as Bane, this is where it gets really disappointing real quickly. He is very difficult to pose in certain aspects. The head swivels, doesn't really have a whole lot of tilts. You can get a little bit of an up and down motion, but that's about it. The arms, he is very stiff. So you see you can get over 90 there, and it does swivel. And then you've got the elbow. One second here. So again, these joints are really tight. So you've got a single joint elbow. As you see, the hand popped off from trying to bend it. The hand does also have a hinge on it, but it's pretty tight as well. You've got a little bit of kind of tilt on there for the ab area. Not sure like the purpose behind it. You can swivel the thighs a little bit, but then you run the risk of it actually popping off, which is all a pain to get it back on as it is. I'm sure if you've heard it, you honestly have to heat them to pop them on. And yeah, those knees are too tight. I'm not even going to bother trying because I'll just pop the legs off. And realistically, even if you bend them, it's not like you get them in a different pose. You do get a little bit of an ankle pivot though, forward and back, and then you've got the toe joint, so you can get a little bit of different poses with him, but for the most part, he's just a big meaty statue for Scarecrow to sit on. Which, let me show you how he pops in here. 1 second. And you kind of have to hold him still because that little piece will try to slide back into Scarecrow. So you do that, you can put his arms over him like so. You can kind of tilt him a little bit. Here we go. And here we are. So they look great. They're just kind of hindered when it comes to articulation and in different poses, but this is how they are in the books, so I'm not going to complain too much. Alright, last up accessories. So you have this flight stand, has a little claw on it. It does have a little bit of a hinge as well, so you can kind of put in different positions. Claw opens. It is pretty tight, which is nice. I will say though, it's a very weird shape and it doesn't hold on to Scarecrow very well at all. And then of course you have the collectible card with them from the cover and a little bio on the back for Scarecrow. Okay, so despite some weird articulation choices and some inconsistency with paint detailing and sculpt, I really still loved this line. I will say that it may be a little skewed because realistically, no other company is going to be doing obscure one-off book series like this. So you kind of have to take what you can get, and they still did a good job overall. So I can't complain too much, even though I probably just did. But that's going to wrap it up for this week's video. As always, if you enjoyed it, please make sure to like and subscribe. Hit the little bell to get notifications when our videos go up. We have Modern Toy Fair reviews on Mondays and Modern Toy Fair news with me and Jamar on Fridays. If you want to support the channel, there's a little link below for tpublic.com. It takes you to our store. We have all sorts of different shirts and mugs, phone cases, pillows, all sorts of stuff with our logo on it, or just other designs that I've worked up in Photoshop, so feel free to give those a look. Also, make sure to check us out on social media. Twitter and Instagram are at Modern Toy Fair. We do currently have a giveaway going on, so also check out Modern Toy Fair News to hear more about that. Hopefully we'll see you next week, same toy time, same Toy Fair channel. Thanks for watching.